Hi, in this video, we'll be looking at transferring leads out. Now, you've done, you made your decision tree, you've designed it, you've run some traffic, you're going to start getting some leads. And now, where do those leads go? Because LeadsHook is not a CRM. It's a pass-through entity where you're using it to grab leads. You offer personalization to your website visitors, leads, and customers. And then at some point, you've grabbed enough data from them. We want to transfer the data out now to some third-party system. So therefore, we can continue to do our marketing and sending out our marketing messages. So how do we go about doing that? Well, if you've been following the course so far, we've already got the active campaign set up over here. What I didn't show you was the actual test of it. So we've set up active campaign here. We've done our field mapping. I'll just show you that again, so that way we're on the same page and make sure that we have done our field mapping really well. So let's go ahead and see that. I believe it was a new list that we did the mapping for, which is, there you go, that's done. What we haven't done is we've got some extra fields now. So I want to show you how to map the fields, because normally what happens is as you're building decision trees, you realize, oh, you know what, I need to add an extra field. Let me go ahead and add that extra field in. And so we've done that now. So in our case, we've got some extra fields here. The first one is we've got these two, the demo gender test and some fields over here too, which is the demo body type. The other way to learn about what the fields are called is just right over here. There you go. So demo body type, and here we had demo gender and gender. So let's go ahead and map that now. So I'm going to quickly cross over to, let's get rid of that, cross over to the field mapper, which you can access by looking at your ESP and clicking this middle icon here, and it says map fields. Select the list that you want to transfer your leads to. In our case, it's new list, and we have some fields to map. So for example, first one is demo. So we have demo body type and demo test. I don't think we have those fields on this side. We don't. So I'm going to go ahead and click these two buttons here, press auto create, and it's going to create those fields inside active campaign. So let's go ahead and do that. There you go. The fields have been created and mapped automatically. Always, please ensure to press save, otherwise your field mapping won't save. But we've got one more field to map, which was just gender. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Press gender there. Oh, there you go, right there. I think we have a gender field on this side already from some previous tests. No, we don't. All right, so I think I'm just going to use gender singular in this case, or I can go ahead and recreate that, but that's okay. I'll show you two ways of doing it. First, obviously the recreation part. The other one's drag and drop, and that will, oops, that's plural. Let's do SI for singular, and now that's done. So all I can do is press save, and my field mapping is complete. So let's just make sure that it has happened or it has saved properly. Go ahead and just do a quick save, which is gender, and we can see that it's been taken care of. The other one was demo, which was the body type, and yeah, that's basically your field mapping's done, which means now when this custom field gets populated, you'll know this is the corresponding field inside active campaign to send the data to. You don't always have to send any data out if you don't want to. You can just remove these, and therefore this data won't be sent out to active campaign. But if you're grabbing it, you might as well send it over, because you never know how you may want to use it at some later stage. Right, so that concludes, I should say, our field mapping part. Now to do a final test, let's just make sure that everything is looking okay. Oops, I've got a search criteria already set up. Right, so that's looking pretty good. I think the leads will transfer if I go over here. That's the results page. We showed results onto results page already. Now let's go ahead and do a final publish and test this out. All right, so I'll just head over to to the page where we want to do that. Now obviously, as you can see, it keeps showing up on this page is because I've been cookied, and that the setting for that is so LeadsHook will track your leads and visitors and where they left off. So if someone left off on this node and if they come back to the page, they'll end up back at this page so they can continue the decision tree, right? So kind of makes it easy where they don't have to go through the whole thing again. But if you don't want to have that, and you want to turn that off, so every time someone lands, they start back from the first node, then you go ahead and click that again. So always restart the decision tree from the first node, right? And that basically is what that does. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, so that way it makes it easy for testing. Please do go ahead and publish that because I've just made some changes. It's a new set of instructions. Go ahead and save. That's been published. Now I'm just going to refresh this and I should see the first node. Okay, perfect. Now one thing I haven't done is I haven't put the images in yet. So I will show you how to do images next. But for now, let's just make sure everything's working. Okay, I'm glad this happened. So as you can see that it did this. The reason why it does this is because if you embed this decision tree at the bottom of a page, let's say you have an advertorial or a long form article or a blog post, then you don't want your website visitor to scroll back and forth all the time. So that's why we show this. But because it's got a top navigation bar, it sort of hides it because it's trying to position you to the top of the page. How do you fix that? Pretty easily. Go to embed code, go to the spacing over here, and I'm just going to go ahead and just add, let's say, I don't know, 150 pixels, right? And so by adding 150 pixels, it's added in this data offset right over here. I want to copy this, go back into my where I put the embed code and just copy and paste that. Or you can just go ahead and just copy and paste this part here. But it just so you don't make any typo mistakes or typing mistakes, better off just copying and pasting from scratch. Go ahead and press save, update. Now if I go ahead and refresh this page, let me just make sure it's been saved. Yep, that happened. So let's go ahead and save this. Okay, so same thing. I don't have enough space at the top, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more. Not there, right there. And I'm just going to, just for argument, just make it 400. Right, that way it's a nice big space from the top. Go ahead and save that. Cross over to the embedded decision tree. Let's refresh it. And hi everybody. Yeah, I'm glad I ran into that problem. So at least I'll get to share with you how I fixed it. So first thing I did was I had added, in order to make this page display completely, the image fully, you need to add a little bit of CSS to your underlying page. So I've done that over here. Depending on the page builder that you use, you may not need this. This is WordPress, so I did this, which is minimum height colon 100% the viewpoint height. So that way it shows the entire image completely. Otherwise, it'll squeeze. The image will reduce to the size of the decision, which you don't want. So because you want your decision to be displayed on top of the complete image. So that's what you do. That stretches out the image, or shows the image completely, I should say. It doesn't stretch the image. Increases the size of the page to show the full image. Right now, then what I've done is, as you notice, previously it went under the hood. So I've gone here and I've added in 500 pixels, which is data offset. It'll update this. Copied that. Went over into WordPress and just copied and pasted that over here. So there you go. That's with the change. And then once I refresh that, save it, just go ahead and refresh this, and it'll work again because it'll adjust for this height at the top here. Right. So there you go. Now you no longer have to worry about it squeezing underneath the the top navigation bar. So that basically is the final test. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Just go Nick test 1. Trust email address there. Switch on fat burning. And so there you go. I've seen Nick test 1. Here results. Obviously I don't have any images, video, that sort of thing, but it'll display right over here. And that basically completes the decision tree. Now let's check what happens to the data. Okay, so I'm going to make another video now where I'll take you through how to trace the data. So we'll call this transferring leads part 2.